Hi, I'm Sophie from Encodian, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can start to remove your watermarks from your Word documents. So in the solution today, we have a draft sales proposal, and when this draft is completed, we're going to see how using Power Automate and Encodian Flowr, we can remove the watermark from this document and convert it to PDF. So let's take a look at the solution. So this is my SharePoint site. So within my documents library, I have a folder for sales proposals. So I'm just using proposal 1 for the scenario today. So we can see here I've got a sales proposal Word document, and I have a column called document status. So this is a choice column, so the document can either be with a status of draft, or when the document has been finished, all the edits and changes have been made, this status can be changed to completed. Once the document status has been changed to completed, this will trigger off a Power Automate flow, which is then going to remove the watermark. So let's just quickly take a look at the Word document. So when you open Word documents online, if they have a Word watermark, you're not able to actually see it on the page. So you can see here, it just says drawing, but if you open this up in the desktop app, we will then see when this loads that there is a draft watermark over the page. Like this. So we can see that this clearly has a watermark on the page. So let's take a look at the Power Automate. So this is my flow today. So this is an automated cloud flow. And my trigger is when a file is created or modified, properties only, because we need to look at the properties of the document to see whether it's been changed to completed. So these are all the options for the inputs with this trigger. So we can put our SharePoint site, our SharePoint library name, our SharePoint folder. So I'm only going to point it to the sales proposals folder, because then it's going to look at all of the subfolders in there rather than just limiting it to that single folder. However, here in the trigger, we can't actually put in any filter queries, and we don't want this flow to run every time, say, a name is changed or another property is changed of our document. We only want this flow to run when the document status column has changed to completed. So even though there's no filter query here, we can add this in as a trigger condition. So to add a trigger condition in, you need to click the ellipsis and go to settings. Once we're on settings, if you just scroll down, you can see we've got this trigger condition area at the bottom, and this is the trigger condition I'm using. So this is going to be checking for the value of the document status column and checking whether it's completed. So we need that / value there because this is a choice column. If your column is a text column, then you won't need that there. Next up, we actually need to get the file content of our document. So we can do this using the full path dynamic content, which comes from the output of the trigger. Once we've got our file content, we can then remove the watermark. So we can remove the watermark using Encodian Flowr's remove watermark from Word action. So the file name needs to be the file name with extension. And again, we can get this from the trigger action, but it's very important here that it does have the extension there. And the file content we're using from the get file content using path action. And that's all you need to do, and that will remove the watermark from your Word document. Now you could just go ahead and save this as another Word document, but I want to save it as a PDF so no other changes can be made because my document is completed now. So I'm using a second one of Encodian Flowr's actions called convert to PDF, where I'm going to convert this to PDF and save it back to SharePoint. So I'm keeping the same file name. I'm using the file content from the remove watermark from Word action. And the difference here is that the PDF file name just needs to have a .pdf at the end. And then once we've converted our document, we can then go ahead and save this document back to SharePoint. So I'm saving it back to the same location. So I'm using that same folder path. It's going to have that same name. However, the file content this time is the outputs from convert to PDF. So let's go ahead and actually run the flow and see what our finished PDF document looks like. So I'm coming back to SharePoint and I'm going to change the document status to completed. So this will trigger off the flow. So let's give it a minute or two to run. So coming to Power Automate, I can see that the flow has finished running. So if I just come back to SharePoint and give it a refresh, I can see now that we have a PDF version of the Word document. And opening this up, I can see that there is no longer that draft watermark across the document, which means it's now ready to be sent out to maybe a manager for approval or to customers. So hopefully this video has shown you how using Encodian's Flowr, you can start to remove watermarks from your Word documents, and you can even convert them to different file types such as PDF if you need to. The solution today was quite simple, however hopefully it gives you the idea of the things that you can start to do with this action. If you have any questions about anything you've seen today, please leave me a comment down below or get in touch with us at Encodian, and as always, happy automating.